So with what we've got set up here, we're going this way. The circle, you've got two channels, so the balls are starting here and here. Yeah. And you've got a defender who, or well, someone who's just going to make a pass to an attacker here. Same on this side, we'll alternate sides. So you're just going to roll the ball, and there's an attacker here. A defender's going to start on the top of the circle, one side at a time. Yep. Once the pass goes, this defender can start to engage. Okay, it's a one-on-one, 1v1 through this area here, and the same on the other side. Okay, we're taking in turns. Now, what this is, how would this look in a game? When does this look familiar, do you think, defenders? Yeah, so last line of defence. It's over a long distance. So what might that mean? This person's going to be running with a bit of speed. Okay, so you're right. Last line of defence. It could be a counter attack from a short corner that's broken down. Yeah, but essentially you're outnumbered. They're coming at speed, and in this situation you've got no help. Okay, at the moment. So we're looking at controlling a counter attack. Yeah, girls, you did this with me earlier today, and you guys I think did a bit of it with Michelle. What I'm looking for is, once this pass has been made to this attacker, then you guys, like what you've done with a one-on-one, you've got to think of a plan. How are you going to get from here to have a goal shot? Okay, you've got to work on angles. Okay, but we're really focusing on the defender here. You've got to think about getting up and into their space as soon as possible. Okay, if you just hang around here, then there's no pressure for them there. Yeah, and they're more likely to get into the circle. So we're thinking about, and we're talking about getting up on an angle here if you're on this side. Okay, because we're wanting to force them, yeah, wide, especially on this side because it's your flat stick. Yeah, yep. So that engagement line, forcing them there just because of your body line. Okay, so that's the first thing, the speed and the tackling distance. Girls, what are we looking to try and get with the tackling distance? Sorry?
1.5 sticks, so
yeah.
Both, but not so too close.
Good, 1.5 stick lengths. But remembering these guys hopefully are coming at you with a bit of pace. So you've got to judge that speed. Okay, if you know, is it Liam? Jesse, sorry. Jesse, sorry. So if Jesse's quick, then I might need to give him a bit more distance, okay, and pick up his speed that way. Okay, so line of approach, forcing this player wide. Same on this side, would be approaching on that angle, forcing them to go that way. Okay, the main thing what we don't want to do here is eliminate ourselves early on. Okay, we want to delay, we want to stay in the contest. You might not make the tackle until about the top of the circle. Okay, so footwork, tackling, tackling distance, and getting to them quickly, forcing them wide. Okay, next, go guys. Pretty front on there, you see you could go either way. Yep, let's go. That was a win there from you. How far up did you get? Just to there? I reckon you can probably get a bit further. Yeah, try and get up in their face. Good, yep, good. And you guys waiting in line, perfect opportunity for this imagery stuff. So it's like a set play, yeah?
What am I going to do?
So what's your plan? Okay, just hold guys, just hold. Okay, so this is a drill for these defenders. What we're looking for is them to control the situation. So for you guys to gain control, you need to put some pressure on them, yeah? So I think what I've seen, what you're doing well is as soon as that pass goes, you're out, yeah? And you're meeting them definitely on this side of the 25, about here, yeah? So you're not giving them all that free space. So you're starting to control them as soon as possible, okay? I think on this side we can get out and start to control the situation a bit sooner, yep? The other thing we need to do, I've seen errors probably on both sides, is making sure we don't give them two options. If we come into the middle, you can see space there, can't you? You can go both ways, yeah? So take away control and options for the attacker. So obviously where the goal's oriented, we want to make them go there, okay? So doing lots of little things to take control back as a defender away from the attacker. Okay, so out a bit quicker, only give them one way to go. Okay, keep going. Who's up? Girls, I think you're next. Where you go? Boys, go. Okay, yep, where you go? So we went infield there, obviously on this side trying to get him to go there. So you might need to exaggerate your arc, okay? I think your feet there were quite square and you were retreating like this, so try and get your feet on a 45. So if you want him to go that way, yeah, don't be front on with him and feet square, try and offset, so like enforce him that way, yeah? Good, good, stay in it. Okay, last one this side.
One goalie.
Okay, grab a quick drink and we'll have a chat in the shade before we come back out. So same starting positions, we're just going to add another defender. So the person who has passed the ball, in this case, joins to become 2 defenders versus 1 attacker. Okay, so same setup. So once you've passed the ball, you're going to be a few steps behind, okay? So obviously the attackers here, think about how you're receiving it. What's your first touch like? Is it aggressive? Because if it's not, yeah, then this one's going to get into the play pretty quickly. Okay, so receiving kind of on the move, aggressive first touch, you might want to be thinking about cutting that line off as well, so it stays a one-on-one. That's your best case scenario as an attacker. Okay, this one is trying to get into the play, obviously, yep. And this is where we're controlling the situation, because if this one engages and involves himself or herself in the tackle too early, then it doesn't give this one a chance to be in the play, yeah? So delaying in a good spot, but then being patient. We might need to run with them a little while until we get that help, okay? And that's what you would do in a situation where it's a one-on-one, there's lots of space, you know that you've got no help, but they're coming. Your right half's coming into cover, so is your left half. But if you can just stay in the contest and delay for a few more seconds, then suddenly you've got helpers, okay? So very important that we don't eliminate ourselves in a one-on-one, because you've got some help if you play it smart, okay? So we'll see how that goes, and we'll talk about the relationship between these two after a little while. But there should be, you guys should start to speak about it straight away. How does it work? How can you help? Can you see well from there? Can you start to chat to this one? Okay, how can you work as a team? All right, so have a think about it. Start chatting about it in the drill, and we'll revisit in a little while. Okay, so new tacklers if you haven't already, and you obviously will have a couple of defenders here as well. Okay, go girls. What are you doing? Who are you tackling back there? Who though?
Nobody.
No one's in the drill, are they?
No.
Yeah, so that's where you've got to come up.
What do I do? Like, if she's tackling there, do I just put pressure on her?
Yeah, just find a way where you can put pressure on or work together. Like, I've got the gap, or yeah, you've got flat stick, yeah? But don't take yourself out because no one else is here, yeah?
If you channel them in.
Well done. That angle you ran meant that he couldn't get in the game. Yeah, you couldn't kind of get in there, could you? Because of the line he ran? Clever. Good, that's it. Okay, perfect. Let's have a chat about this one. Did you see that, girls? Yeah. Let's think about it, let's recreate it. So you did perfectly there. So you had the ball?
Yeah.
Okay, jump down here with the ball. Okay, so the last one, Freya. So I nailed Freya last time because I said, hey, why are you coming behind and like, you know, do you want your drink bottle just to chill out here because you're not doing anything? And she said, well, I'm in cover. But covering what? Because you've got no one else. So what you've done perfectly now, and what I said was find a way to help. Okay, do you know what you did?
Cover it, like stop her from turning.
Yeah.
Channeled her into Yazzie.
Perfect. Okay, so what the comment Freya's saying is she channeled her perfectly straight onto Yasmin. Yasmin's flat stick. Yeah. So you had nowhere to go. Yeah. So you were literally in a really good spot. You were going like this, like hey, channel, 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 bang, straight onto the flat stick. Well done. Smaller space. Now we've got, and then we had a teammate with that team tackling and working out how that relationship works. Now it's a little bit more game-like as we go in a kind of a counter-attack scenario. So some of it will stay the same in that the ball's starting here. We'll get some bibs in a sec, that a defender will pass it like it has been now. We'll try not to work with cones because they're kind of restricting and over-prescribing. So a defender will pass a ball to an attacker just here, like that setup that we just had. Okay. Now this attacker, we've got 1, 2, 3 attackers, but what I want is for this same scenario to play out initially. Okay, so where would this attacker be looking at going to? Yeah, straight that way. Yeah, so yeah, pretty simple. So shortest path from where they are to the goal. So that same kind of attack defence one-on-one is going to be there initially, okay, as well as a trailing player. So this defender, when they've passed it, they come in, okay, and start to try and have some control by forcing them somewhere, okay, and starting to talk to this defender, okay. So that's going to happen. So this one again, you're going to have some help if you can delay, if you can stay in the contest. Okay, an attacker to start inside the circle, they can't receive the ball directly from this player into the circle. Okay, so you can start in there, but you have to lead outside and get some width, all right, to start with. Okay, because we don't want to pass like that. I want this to kind of play out. Okay, an attacker and a defender starting from, it could be, what would it be, like a left half, as if you're a defender, and maybe a right striker from that zone there. Let's start you about at the Movement for Life physiotherapy sign. So in the field, but about that width, okay? Yep, so it's a 3-on-3, but if you go quickly here as an attacker, you're going to eliminate that one, okay? But obviously as a defender, you're trying to stay involved and have an influence as well. Okay, and then in a little while we'll add another attacker and defender to come in from cover there. So it might be a right half coming in from the help side. Okay. Good tackle.
Yep.
Yep.
Go, you lead it wide.
Okay, jog it in, folks. Come into the middle here. Just now one-on-one where we know we have to get the things right with our tackling, i.e. the line of approach needs to be good, the speed, our stick position, yeah, there's much more happening. Okay, we're needing to be looking behind us and aware of where our fellow defenders are, and I've seen you doing it really well. Okay, so there's an awareness. So we're not just coming up now thinking, oh, I've got everything in front of me. Okay, I've seen you kind of, the term might be rubbernecking, looking behind. Okay, so that's great. Your responsibility is the ball, that's important, but there's a danger behind here as well. Okay, but if you don't go here, then they're going to walk into the circle, yeah? So you've got to, you're kind of in a 50-50. You've got to be in two places at once. No, it's not possible, but you've got to have that awareness. So let's talk about the role of the one coming from the top of the circle. What is it? It's quite a lot. Let's talk through it. What should you be thinking about if you're that defender coming from the top?
It's covering the run straight towards the goal.
Okay, so you had that awareness of where this attacker is. They're having to lead out there, aren't they? So when you're coming forward, are you aware of where that player is, are you? Great, okay. So I think we all should be, but I don't think all of us have been so far. So we're taking care of the ball, but also in our periphery, yeah, we should be positioning ourselves. Have you heard of the idea of a flat triangle when we're marking? So if we're coming from here, yeah, and you're coming up to mark this one here, and you know this attacker's been leading out here, yep, so they might be here somewhere. And what you've done really well is that you've been able to position yourself in a spot whereby you're applying pressure to this one, but you also have an awareness of where this one is and possibly can get an intercept or at least deter the pass going there, okay? And if that's where your finishing position is, if we draw dots between those three players, there's a flat triangle. And in those angles we can cover, yeah, quite a bit of ground. Okay, so when you're in this one now, thinking about creating that kind of flat triangle position, awareness of what's happening behind you, and certainly an awareness here, because if we stay on the top, then she's gonna be allowed to come into the circle and have a shot. Okay, good. Anything else? What about the relationship between this one and the one trailing? How should you be talking or engaging or working with that one?
Making them push them out wide and stuff, so the sideline in front.
Yeah, good, yeah. How do you say that? Do you, like, what types of things do you, how would you get them to do that?
Push out wide.
Yeah, good. Yeah, so yeah, that cue, hey, push them out wide. Then they know that they need to be coming on this kind of angle here, yeah, and that really good position that you had, Freya, with your stick, yeah. So faking space, yeah, showing them. It's almost like rounding cattle, isn't it? So saying, hey, yeah, I'm only this big here, but if I do that, then I'm saying, well, there's no way through here. Okay, so it might be just a call of, hey, force them wide, yeah. So you should have a relationship with that one as well. Okay, that's probably enough now for the positioning and the role for that one. What about this one who's coming from here, the left half kind of type? What's their priority? Remembering that they're starting from here and they've got an attacker with them. What's their job?
I reckon if this one leaves out too wide or whatever, or if they can cover that person as well, they can let the bloke on top of the circle know and stuff so they can get the top lead.
Brilliant. Okay, so remembering, so you're trying to do something with this one, but you've got a priority here as well. Okay, let's go. Yep. Play on, successful outlet. Got to get it out to get a point, defence.
Help him out,